My name is Siobhan St, the author of Scars Left to Heal, and this is how I wrote it. So the name of my book is called Scars Left to Heal, and honestly, it's just about the journey of loving the skin that you're in, perseverance, accepting who you are, scars and all. So my book actually never came about. It wasn't an idea that I had. My mentor, one of my mentors, Damon Gladman, who actually wrote the foreword of my book, he kept planting this seed in me. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. And he knew a lot about my story, but it's so personal, my book being autobiography, it's so personal that I was like, we're good, it's okay. And he just kept planting the seed. So I took the time to go to God and just pray about it. My mentor planted the seed and God continued to water it. So the process in writing the book, I had been journaling for years. I'd just been writing down my thoughts about everything that has come to pass in my life. And when I finally decided to write the book, I just had all of these writings in this journal. I'm like, okay, well, let's just start putting it together. And that process in totality took about 6 years, from just writing and journaling to finally having the courage to publish a book. Took about 6 years, and I just continued to journal and then take those thoughts, put them into order, and that's how the book came about. I was 18 months old when I was diagnosed with cancer, and at that age, you don't know anything. But just being able to look back on it, I wanted people to understand no matter what it is that you're going through, what you've been through in your life or continue to go through, there's another side. Being a cancer survivor, I had to have a hysterectomy, and not being able to bear children was something that I talked about quite often in the book, and just that feeling, not feeling as if you are fully a woman because there's this one thing that you can't do. And I had a friend of mine reach out who was going through something similar, and just shared with me how much my story and the way that I expressed how I felt in moments really resonated with her, because she didn't feel like anybody could understand what she was feeling. The very first time I held my book in my hand, I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was actually in Alabama doing a cheerleading camp, and every day I would go to the front desk at the hotel. I'm like, has a package come in for me? Has a package come in? And they're like, nope, no package. I get the package. All of my coworkers are in the room. They get a bottle of champagne, and it is a celebration. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I open the package and I take the book out, and I'm like, this is it. This is the tangible product of my writing. And it was so surreal. It was so surreal. And I don't have children, so it literally felt like my child, and the care that went behind it and the love and patience that it took to write this, all of it just came to full fruition. So there were so many things revealed to me while writing this book, but the biggest thing was just how much I could see everything that happened. Hindsight, everybody says hindsight is 20/20, and go, you survived. You're not a victim of anything. You're a survivor of everything. Like, you've conquered all of these things that you thought at one point were going to break you, and they didn't. And just being able to shed a lot of that, kind of that weight off of you was so therapeutic. It really wasn't anything else I could have done that would have released all of those feelings. Working with the agency was absolutely beautiful. The way, when you're writing an autobiography, obviously you're talking about things that are super personal to you, but the way that each member of Madison Park, the team, took care of my writing, and the way that they almost made it their own. They took full ownership of, hey, we know this is yours, and we want to make sure that we give this to the world the way that you want it to be given. And that in itself spoke volumes to me. Just the way that they were constantly in contact, the way that they constantly were like, hey, how do you want this? What is your vision for this? There's times where you can write and everything is flowing, everything flows. And then there's days where there's nothing that comes down on that piece of paper or typing. And then the way that they would always contact and communicate with me, Raphael specifically, and just, hey, here's the blueprint. Here's what you do. You're gonna get stuck sometimes, but here's how you can get back to writing and making sure that you're getting all these things down. So it was a great journey. My name's Siobhan St, and I'm a Madison Park Global Author, and that's how I wrote it.